he has taken up in full control of governance in Rivers State. We want to thank him. Because governance is about the people. And he has chosen the mantra, people first. What else can be added to that? And he is demonstrating it by action. So, Excellency, we want to thank you, commend you, urge you to remain focused on the people in all you are going to continue to do as our governor. I can tell our people that the next election is very far, but what the governor has done so far is enough to secure the support of Ogwegbe Mandoni local.
Earlier, the Permanent Secretary Ministry of Works, Atemea Briggs, said the dual carriageway project, first awarded in April 2023 by the previous administration for about 7 billion naira, was not funded. Mr. Briggs said the Fubara administration paid the contractor in July 2023 and the current cost of the project increased to about 13 billion due to variation. Meanwhile, the special advisor to the governor on environmental sanitation, Prince Ohia, has commended the Fubara administration for its achievement in infrastructure development within the past year. In a statement by his special assistant on electronic media, Obed Douglas, Mr. Ohia was speaking to journalists on the sidelines of the commissioning of the Omokwebeman Road in Obwebemandoni local government area, Onelga. He promised the governor's projects and management of resources, describing them as a practical demonstration of leadership and good governance. He said the state lacked effective governance prior to the Fubara administration, but with his emergence, the narrative has changed. Conveying the gratitude of the people of Onelga, the governor's aide said that from traditional institutions to opinion leaders, women and youth, everyone is happy and appreciative of the governor's effort. He assured that the people would remain loyal to the government, acknowledging the positive impact of the administration's policies and projects on their lives. In the meantime, the coordinator, National Youth Council of Nigeria, Eche chapter, Promise Onyegam, has appealed to Governor Fubara to consider appointing a youth from Eche local government area into his cabinet as a commissioner. Mr. Onyegam, who made the appeal at a briefing in Port Harcourt, said Governor Fubara needs a vibrant youth from Eche who is competent to work with him for the interest and development of Eche.
Call on His Excellency the Executive Governor of Rivers State to consider the youth of Eche as a commissioner position. All this while we have tested the elders and have known their performances, especially this period that we are having crisis in the state. So we need to give a vibrant person that knows the problem of the people at the local government level. This time is not a period that we will nominate a selfish leader as a commissioner. So we need a youth, a vibrant leader to carry along the youth of Eche local government and face the crisis that we're experiencing today in the state. So many of them, we have a youth of so many cadres. There's no level of youth that we don't have it.
On the spot, the coordinator of CIPA in Eche, Chioma Nunukwe, called on Governor Fubara to prioritize the appointment of Eche youth as commissioner with proven track records who is willing to serve with integrity and a commitment to action.
And we are calling on the governor because we depend so much on him and we rely on him. That was why the youth stood firmly in his support. And we are saying His Excellency to come to our rescue. But because the youth believe so much in him. And that was why we fought for him. That we are hoping on him that at this time, he is a man who has so much love for the youth. That he should come and look into the situation of Eche and bring a youth to the power. That this time around that the appointment has gone. He should not allow these leaders to give it to those leaders who were not there anywhere close to why this crisis was going on.
The councillor representing Ndashi Ward 16, Anokuru, and a youth leader, Bobby Emmanuel, also spoke.
And occupy all these positions. They should please consider us this time. And I think our leaders knows the position of youth in our dear local government. In a nationalizing period, we'll come out en mass during campaign. We vote. Please, I want to call them to consider the use of Eche for that position.
We just want to call on the governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Sir Siminalayi Fubara, to consider the youth. He's a youthful governor. He has the youth at heart. He should consider the youth in necessary and viable positions like the commissioner and other appointments. We want to tell His Excellency that the youth of Eche local governments are solidly behind him.
Moving on now, the Rivers State Police Command says the suspect Chukwudi Okereke, who died in the custody of the Octopus Strike Force unit of the command, was a kidnapper and a cultist. Public Relations Officer of the command, Grace Iringokoko, said in a statement that it is not true that Mr. Chukwudi was tortured to death. SP Iringokoko said the deceased was implicated in a case of kidnapping, armed robbery, and cultism. She said he was involved in the kidnapping of a businesswoman in the Jubo area of Port Harcourt on September 7, 2023. She said the victim was held captive for 7 days and was released after the victim's family paid a ransom of 3.5 million naira. The statement also said that last month the police held a meeting with the parent and spouse of the deceased, who were accompanied by two of their family's legal representatives, and agreed that the family would participate in the autopsy to determine the cause of death. The statement further said that the case of the death of the suspect has been transferred to the State Criminal Investigation Department for discreet investigation to ensure a thorough and impartial examination of the circumstances surrounding his death. As you may know, his father, Abraham Okereke, is seeking justice after Chukwudi's body was found at the mortuary of the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital, UPTH. He told newsmen that his son was arrested by police officers of the Octopus Strike Force on 11th January, and despite continuous visits to the police facility seeking information about his son's whereabouts since his arrest, it took about 4 months for the Octopus Strike Force to reveal where his son's body was kept. Still to come, federal government drags governors to court over local government autonomy. Stay with us. You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. The Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) has donated 100 desks to Community Secondary School Rumekini in Obiakpo local government area, where students sit on the floor due to a lack of desks. Speaking during the presentation of the desk, River State representative of the NDDC Management Board, Tonyo Okocha, expressed concern over the school's poor condition. Mr. Okocha emphasized that the donation is aimed at easing the students' hardships, as such conditions could discourage them from attending schools.
My concern the day we came wasn't the building as such. Though I saw the building as terrible as it was, my major concern was how could students study and comprehend what they are taught in that kind of terrible environment. And they sit on the floor and then learn. That's not how we learned. My surprise was heightened when I thought that this kind of thing can only happen around the suburbs of small states, not in the town in River State.
Mr. Okocha also assured that the NDDC will address the school's dilapidated buildings and other pressing needs. He urged the community to protect the new desks from vandalism. Also speaking, the CDC chairman of the Rumekini community, Gentle Akani, thanked the NDDC for the gesture, adding that it is the first time the community has witnessed intervention from the NDDC. Earlier, the principal of the community secondary school in Rumekini, Chima Amadi, thanked the NDDC for the gesture.
We are very, very much happy to have seen what NDDC they brought to the school. We are happy to the community, CDC, and those stakeholders that are all here to equally say thank you to what you've done for the school. We are grateful. Thank you, sir.
Correspondent Omekwatoka reports that some students also expressed their gratitude.
Welcome development that the NDDC has remembered us today to bring chairs to our school.
I feel very grateful for the seats that the government have brought to us, because for the past years now, we don't have seats in our school. Children are sitting on the ground. Some come home need to go home dirty, and it's very frustrating.
I feel very, very grateful, and all thanks to NDDC for remembering our school. I remember when I first came to this school, there was a time we even started contributing money, 1,000 naira for us to have chairs. At the end of the day, we will not even have the chairs. So I want to thank the NDDC for giving us this opportunity to have chairs.
Moving on, the mayor of Housing, My Ace China, says Governor Fubara's open declaration on the ease of doing business during the just concluded River State Economic and Investors Summit has reassured the business community to bring in more investment into the state. Mr. China, who is the CEO of Housing and Construction Mayor Limited, said this in an interview with journalists on the sidelines of the summit. He also said the panel discussion on the blue economy was exciting because opening up infrastructure in the waterways would free up more land and add huge value to property in those areas.
A well-harnessed, well-organized blue economy will exponentially explode the value of real estate. I heard the governor promising us investors the ease of doing business, and while doling out the industries, he mentioned the housing and the real estate sector. That gives me full confidence that all our pending approvals sitting before the government will be approved within the next 1 or 2 weeks, or I'll produce video evidence of the governor promising that there will be no more barriers.
The mayor of Housing, who participated fully during the summit, said the next step is the suggestion of former deputy governor of the CBN and now political economist Kingsley Moghalu, which is to integrate a host community into the business coming into their land.
And guess what? Yours sincerely already knew this, and we already adopted and are deploying the same model in our Alessa Highland Sustainable City Estate project in Eleme, where we have given the Aboriginal landowners a 10% stake ownership in the new estate. And apart from that, we are still giving them other CSR incentives, making that is the reason we are the first company in River State to get an award from our host community even before our project starts in earnest.
Away from that, the federal government has approached the Supreme Court with a suit seeking to compel governors of the 36 states of the Federation to grant full autonomy to the local government in their domains. The suit was filed by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi on behalf of the federal government. The federal government is urging the apex courts to issue an order prohibiting state governors from unilateral, arbitrary, and unlawful dissolution of democratically elected local government leaders for local government. In a suit predicted on 27 grounds, the federal government accused the state governors of gross misconduct and abuse of power. In other news, today is Children's Day. Though it is not a public holiday, schools will be closed across the country to mark the day. Children's Day is celebrated in Nigeria on May 27 each year. It is a day to emphasize the importance of children in society, raise awareness about their rights, and promote their well-being and development in society. Now, here in River State, schools and churches organize special activities for the day, such as fun fairs, parades, excursions, sports competitions, educational talks, and other events to appreciate their potential, nurture their talent, and create an inclusive, supportive environment for their growth. Some children spoke on the need for the state government to provide adequate support for out-of-school children and devote time to visit children at orphanage, among others.
Children are facing child abandonment. Some parents abandon their children. Some of them are facing hunger. Some are not going to school.
Many parents are poor, so to the extent that they cannot take care of their children in their education. The government should make free schools, should stop parents from encouraging their children on going for work in order for them to be enrolled in the school.
I want government making all the hardship come to an end.
Government has to raise time so that they can go out to help the needy children in the orphanages, some are in the hospitals, to help them and help them with problems that they're facing in areas of their lives.
Now, they also spoke on how to make every Children's Day inclusive and enjoyable for them.
As celebrating the Children's Day give joy to everyone.
I would like the government to make everything free for just children, just for one day.
When all the children in all different types of cities and wherever they are come together as one and celebrate themselves.
The government should build play parks, schools, and should do things that children need.
To make everyone be happy about the Children's Day, and we're going to do something in the school, and my parents will take me out. They will do something by supporting the Children's Day to make everyone okay. If you go to the market, things are expensive, so you make it a little bit cheaper for people to buy, and for my family also. I wish that no one should lose their life for the Children's Day.
And now we bring you news from around the world.
The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza says dozens of people were killed or injured in a blast at a refugee camp in the Rafah area. The Israel Defense Forces said it had carried out an airstrike targeting a Hamas compound in the area. It says it is reviewing the incident.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
That's a wrap on the news this morning. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. Governor Fubara has promised not to politicize projects. Federal government has dragged governors to court over local government autonomy. Today is Children's Day. And on the foreign scene, Israeli strike has hit Rafah area after Hamas barrage. The news was edited by Chioma Ezenwafo. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifichuku Monyele. Many thanks for listening.